motorsports, for marine, for aerospace, inverter technology has revolutionized TIG welding. The new Invertech V310 TIG welder from Lincoln Electric offers all the advantages of inverter technology with something no other welding unit offers. For a closer look, let's listen in on this Invertech demonstration.
This is our new V310 AC/DC TIG inverter from Lincoln.
What do you think makes this different than the other TIG welders out there?
What sets this machine apart is the patent pending dynamic display, which makes setup of this machine so simple. And it allows you to look at all of the various parameters that you would set at a single glance, so you don't have to scroll through each setting. The machine has various welding modes such as AC high frequency, AC TIG high frequency, DC lift TIG, DC crisp mode, which is good for 6010 or cellulosic electrodes, DC soft mode for welding 7018 low hydrogen electrodes, AC stick mode, DC TIG with high frequency starting. You can select various trigger modes if you're welding with a foot pedal, or welding with an arc start switch, or with an arc start switch with a trigger interlock, which we call 4-step. You can adjust your output frequency on AC to focus the arc. The other thing is you can adjust the balance on an inverter to a higher percentage of electrode negative. When you're welding with AC, electrode positive cleans the weld, electrode negative actually penetrates the weld. So by being able to shift that scale closer to the negative side, you can actually maintain a sharp point on your tungsten. So that's one of the benefits of an AC inverter, is the fact that you can actually focus the arc by adjusting the output frequency. You're not stuck with a 60 hertz power supply that comes out of the wall. If I was pulse welding, I turn pulse on, and you can see in pulse welding I get a whole additional set of controls. For example, I can adjust pulse frequency. Not only do I see the frequency changing within the sequence diagram, the patent pending dynamic display icons show you the effect of the adjustment on the arc and on the weld bead profile. So the only time I press this is to select the item that I want to adjust, and it will highlight the parameter that's being adjusted, and then also show you what the value is when you're adjusting. Again, if I turn this thing down to a low frequency 20 hertz, it gives me a much broader arc. If I wanted to focus the arc into the joint, I can turn it all the way up to 200 hertz, which is going to give me a much tighter arc. I can actually then go into something like in the setup menu and actually change the wave shape. So for example, if I was running clear anodized where I want to have a high peak current to punch through the weld, I can come over here and select a triangular wave shape. I basically can select from square wave. Independently, I can set positive triangular wave, negative square wave, positive sine wave, negative square wave, positive square wave, triangular negative, triangular on both the positive and negative.
You know, we got 3 different people using this machine, so is there a way that they can set it up for themselves or the way they like to do it?
The memory feature allows you to store commonly used parameters. So for example, if I wanted to set up a pulse welding parameter, in this case in AC with maybe foot pedal, I can select a memory location and save that into memory. You can set the language of the machine to French. For somebody who speaks Spanish, you could set the language to the machine in Spanish or English.
Well, I like the fact that it's nice and small, but does it have as much power as the bigger machines?
The unit's very lightweight, 75 pounds by itself. A 300 amp TIG welder normally weighs, somewhere 400 to 500 pounds. You can see the model that we have here is set up with a modular water cooler that connects to the machine. This is a smart water cooler in that it communicates with the power source. So as you're welding, it's measuring the temperature of the coolant, and it's adjusting the speed of the cooler to keep the torch cool.
What's this going to do for the business to help me save money?
First of all, the power consumption is much lower than a conventional TIG machine, so your energy costs are lower. Your infrastructure cost is lower because this thing is drawing basically a third the amperage of a conventional machine. You can have various welding jobs that you do on a repetitive basis saved into memory so that it's going to minimize their setup time. The simple LCD display screen in itself is going to make it easier for the operators to set up. So they're going to spend more time welding and less time setting up. So that's going to save you money.
The new Invertech V310 is a new way of looking at TIG, giving welders unprecedented art control and customization, all in one easy glance. If you'd like to learn more about the new standard in TIG welding, visit Lincoln Electric's website today.